Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh, yeah.
The eve. It is the eve, the
eve of the
Wednesday
thanks.
before Thanksgiving. Swedish fish.
Was that intentional?
I brought the rest of my Halloween candy and I dumped it off at work. I said I need to get this out, and now I'm eating it.
You really like that stuff.
I love Swedish fish too.
Wow.
I'm with you. No.
All right.
Trying to swear off.
Okay, let's talk about travel because a lot of people are driving today. Family member's house. A lot more people this year, of course, are flying because last year, I know I have Swedish fish in your mouth.
I was honestly wondering if we were actually doing the show yet because I figured she wouldn't have shoved all those Swedish fish in her mouth. If we
It's a holiday. Feels like Saturday
This
around
is the
here.
real show.
Let's get out to PDX because Christelle Coonway is helping us out this morning. She is live at the airport, has been since 5 this morning. Christelle, I love seeing the waves, you know, of the different flights that come in. Show us around, kind of tell us what you guys have been seeing today.
All right, so we've been here since 5 o'clock, and as you mentioned, it's been a wave of travelers on and off. As of right now, I think we're seeing a surge. It was a bit quiet earlier. Right now,
I think your microphone is not on, Christelle.
Or that,
we can hear you on the.
Fell, yeah. We're hearing the crowd noise better than we're hearing Christelle. Yeah, obviously. I'm not a TV genius, but I believe we hear the crowd better than we hear the reporter. All right,
It's giving us the ambiance of PDX.
that may have done the trick right there.
all right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay,
Yes, we are
continue.
back. So as I was saying, the crowd is coming in a wave. You know, at some point it's a little bit quiet. A few minutes after, you're seeing a wave of people. And right now, let me show you the security lines. Well, actually, this is the check-in line. People are lining up to check in for their flights and going to the security lines. Now, airport officials tell us they are actually expecting more than 500,000 people this time around this holiday season, and that's 300,000 more than last year, and people are super excited to be out and about. Most people are coming in a little bit early to avoid the line, but as of right now, the airport is buzzing with activity.
Okay, Christelle, I have a question. This is like a Sunrise Extra question because it has nothing to do with the nuts and bolts. But I saw this guy behind you kind of doing his thing. You know, he was pushing a bunch of luggage. What is the highest number of pieces of luggage that you have ever brought on a plane for one trip?
For one trip?
Yeah.
I would say, you know, maybe like for international trip, probably a big old suitcase and then a little carry-on.
Yeah.
I think
you're a
that's
good
reasonable,
packer.
right?
Yeah, that's totally
Yeah.
reasonable. I think I've probably at least had 2 back in the day, 3 maybe.
Well,
Ron?
that includes my golf clubs. So my golf clubs, one checked big suitcase, and then my carry-on that has my laptop. in it. Yeah.
Am I remembering right or wrong that they didn't used to charge, did they? So you could just bring
Whatever.
whatever you
Oh yeah,
want.
no charge. So when I was a flight attendant in the '80s, there was no charge. I think there might have been a point if you were ridiculously heavy, there was an oversized charge. But no, the charges started, I think, after 2000 for the most part.
There had to be some limit. Otherwise, I'm bringing my couch, right?
No, true.
I'm curious,
Chris- go
Christelle,
ahead.
because the airport, I mean, they're literally like building a new roof for it off-site, and there's some construction. We've seen people, you know, the lines kind of weaving around. Can you walk us around? Is there anything different people should know if they're going to be flying here soon, like construction or weird gates or something?
Yeah, absolutely. So the hallway that used to connect the security, that is no more. So make sure you know exactly where your gate is so that you don't have to go through the security screening more than once. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And those walkways may cause you to, you know, take a little more time to get to your gate. So a few different things are happening, so definitely keep that in mind as you head on out and about. And of course, you know, the security, airport officials are urging travelers to come here super early. The peak days are on Saturday and Sunday, and they're expecting 48,000 travelers each day.
But I love that everybody's in a good mood. Folks are behind you waving,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and everybody's happy. Have you been able to talk to some of the travelers? Are they going any, fun places? What have you heard?
We've heard Mexico and Hawaii, which sounds excellent right about now, while it's really foggy and out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people are excited to finally see family because more people are comfortable traveling this time around too. So that's really fun.
I always enjoy the energy at the airport. I know we kind of tie it into a high stress area because of the long lines and long security lines, but I never really feel, I mean, I guess if you're running late for a flight, there's the exception. But I like the energy that comes with, like, we're getting out of here and we're going somewhere else, and more times than not, it's probably going to be fun.
Yeah.
There is a lot of walking. I mean, I was just at the airport. There's a ton of walking now, the way they've redone those walkways. Aren't they reworking it so the shops will be behind security? A lot of airports have already done that. We're kind of behind the 8 ball on that, but we're getting
I love the moving escalator.
Like this, you mean the sidewalk that moves?
Yeah, the sidewalk
yeah.
or whatever. It looks like
That is
an
a great
escalator.
way to pass the time with young kids,
Yes,
too.
I love that.
Yeah,
And I don't have any little kids.
Have you noticed any on the arrivals, departures board, Christelle? I don't know if you've looked, like any delays or cancellations in other cities that are affecting us today?
As of right now, I haven't had a chance to look, but things seem to be going very smoothly. People are checking in and going straight to the security lines. We haven't seen anyone frustrated or waiting, so I'm estimating that everything is running smoothly so far.
Nice.
Good
All right,
news.
good deal.
We are a well-behaved airport.
Yeah, I know. I like that. Get there about 2 hours early. Christelle, I know you and photographer Eric need to break down and get to another story. So thank you so much for hanging with us and giving us a live picture and everybody going places this morning.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
We did have that sunrise
You
poll.
bet.
Oh, thank you, Christelle. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. We had that poll earlier during our Sunrise TV show. Maybe we can bring that up now if Brian Matthews, our director, can get his fingers over there. But bottom line, we were asking people, how are you traveling? Are you going by plane? Are you going by train? Are you going by automobile? Or are you just going to stay put where you are? And the majority of our viewers, and there is the poll right now, the majority of our viewers, is that up to 75% now? Say they are staying at home. So most of our viewers not traveling whatsoever. But those who are say, automobile is the mode of transportation most often used over the next few days. And Rod, you were saying as far as because we've had some Thanksgivings where it can be tricky either going to or coming back from your destination, especially over the mountain passes. Not an issue this week.
Look, no, and I mean, the system that comes in tomorrow night will be rain at least at 5,000 feet, so that's rain over the Cascade Passes. And then that system actually ushers in warmer air. Mainly dry this weekend, but if we were to get precipitation, it would probably be raining at 8,000 feet. So not really seeing any travel issues whatsoever, except for icy roadways in the high country early this morning from the snow that fell Monday, but that'll be clearing out this afternoon as temperatures warm.
And then you have a 63 on the board for Saturday's high,
Wow.
which is crazy to me. Like, I mean, you don't have all the numbers in front of you, but now I'm starting to wonder, when is the last time we saw a 60-degree temperature at any point during Thanksgiving weekend?
Well, I will tell you that you're right. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I will tell you that 63 is in record territory for this time of the year.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Crazy.
Sheila Speck is sharing some good news. She says, happy day. Oh, man.
It
Wait,
does that
hold,
now and
please.
again.
No, that was operator error. That was totally me.
She does that now and
Okay.
again, that operator.
We get to spend the day with family from California and one of our sons and meeting 1-month-old grandnephew. That'll be awesome. So some wee ones.
Do you guys like going to the airport?
I do.
Yeah,
I get like excited.
No, that's what I said. I love going there.
Because you're doing. I mean, hopefully, you're doing something.
More times
you're
than not,
looking
you're going
forward to.
somewhere you want to go.
Absolutely.
I typically make it a stressful situation by getting there later than I should. But man, that feeling, once you get through security,
You're
I'm
just
here,
like,
I'm on
let's
time.
chill.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we could do like that Amazing Race show or whatever. Like, we're a good team of like, all right, you do this, I'm going to do this. And we try and make it like as almost a game of like efficiency.
Yeah.
And then, like how organized of like, I have your ID handy and like whatever. So I like kind of seeing how smoothly and fast we can get through there.
That's nice, because my wife and I, we are not that same team. I believe I've heard the words, if we miss this plane, I'm going to kill you, more than once.
Oh, I bet. Oh, my gosh.
You're late getting out of the house? You are?
Yeah, I just kind of
Does
push
this
it. What can I
surprise
do
you?
before we leave? What's one more thing I can do before we
Well,
have
you're
to go?
wrangling 4 people and bags and I mean, it's.
I appreciate the excuses. Apparently, none of
I mean, I'm late to everything, but I'm like, but I get paranoid that I'm going to miss, and so I'm very good about the airport.
I will pack everything. I will make sure that we haven't forgotten anything. I'll like double check. I'll ask, but I cannot do directions. Like literally the joke was when we went, out of the country, I'd be like, okay, I'd go up to somebody, where is that terminal? And they'd be go da 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 da, and then I'd go the opposite way. And it's like, what are you doing? It's like I am just directionally.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Really?
Yeah,
I am too.
Wrong way, Braxton.
Wow.
No, directions are not my thing.
I've done this thing where, like, if you're going to leave your car at the airport, you're not going to leave it in the short term. That would be very expensive for like a week trip. So I parked it down in the economy, whichever. What's furthest away, economy or long term? Whatever is the furthest one away. The one near IKEA.
But if you don't plan for that time and the shuttle to pick you up,
So we were definitely pushing it this one time, and it was the family trip. So I dropped the 3 of them off, my wife and 2 kids, off at the front. I was like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And then it's a race, like get the car to the parking lot. Yeah, wait for the shuttle. Like, oh my gosh, that bus isn't coming here. Am I at the wrong stop?
Yeah,
and
that can be stressful.
Yeah, the kids calling me on the cell phone. Dad, are you going to make it?
Oh no.
We'll be fine. I don't know.
We went to the Atlanta airport, and there are actually 2 different terminals that are nowhere near each other for international
when you have to take,
and
like, those.
Domestic. And so we got out of our hotel, checked out, went, got there way early, thank God. And the dude who was driving the bus around said, "Oh no, you're in a
way
totally."
wrong spot.
Yeah.
So he drove us, and there was our hotel. I mean, we went back with our hotel and went to this international terminal, and we were running, and it was so stressful, but we made it.
Yeah. That is one of the largest airports in the country, maybe the biggest. I think it takes up 2 zip codes. It's huge. I mean, it really is humongous. All right.
Those big hubs.
Back to your comments now.
I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
Do it.
Do it.
A live sneeze is
You were
always a good
burping
sunrise
earlier.
extra thing. That was it?
That was it.
That was the sneeze.
How is it that your sneezes are so delicate and your burps will they register on the Richter scale?
How would you know about her burps, Brenda? I
Well,
wonder.
because she does it in here sometimes. She just likes to drop one of
never
those.
do such a
If your
thing.
mom was watching us right now, how would she feel about knowing
She
this?
would be horrified. Rightly so.
Lots of people telling stories. Valerie Helm says, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving with friends and families. We have done for a multitude of years. We never stopped. That means that they've been doing this during COVID. I would assume is what that means. The government cannot tell me. And then she goes on about how they didn't stop. And then she says she's having scallop potatoes, the cheesy scallop potatoes, homemade dinner roll. Homemade dinner rolls. Stuffing, gravy, veggie, snacks, pies. Sounds fantastic. Yeah. Right.
Did you see Mary Rodriguez? She's making enchiladas.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's great.
If I could figure out a way
I'll
to get
swap
out of
ya.
our Thanksgiving dinner and come to yours, I would do it.
Yeah.
Because enchilada sounds fantastic.
Sounds
Yeah, it
great.
does.
I'd
She's
love
putting
it.
up
Good.
Christmas decorations too today, so it's totally
I
non
put up our wreath, the Christmas wreath. Costco, 28-inch fresh evergreen wreaths
Oh, yeah, they have
with
those
pine
out.
cones,
Yeah.
like $13.
Serious?
Yeah, great deal. And they have the real garland that's all hung, and it's 30 feet long.
Oh, wow.
For like $20.
No, my wife got some of
something
that
like
garland
that.
from Costco a couple of years ago.
It's awesome. So we
might
got
do
that this
that.
weekend, so I'm going to hang it.
I am having a hard time pulling up the stream, as you can see.
Yes,
so
you are.
I'm not
Somebody
seeing
said
the
smoking a brisket. Rhonda Thompson Jones.
Smoking
She's
a
smoking a
brisket.
brisket.
Smoking a brisket.
Yeah.
Connie Bob Miller. Good morning to you. She says, I think I may be having the best Thanksgiving ever, taking my son with autism and having dinner with another man with autism and one man with Down syndrome. Going to be the best dinner conversation
That's awesome.
ever.
That's awesome.
That's our
great.
favorite Connie Staub Miller.
Aw, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Willie Huey, what's up, Willie? And
What's
your
he doing?
armadillo eggs.
Yeah.
He says the Atlanta airport has the very worst signs.
signs.
If you're trying to drive there. It's impossible to get to the right spot on your first try, so don't feel bad.
Interesting. All right. Bad signs in Atlanta.
Can we rename him Wesleyan Willie now?
Wesleyan Willie.
Wesleyan Willie.
Ooh, Noah Clark, he says he's about to start brining his turkey for 24 hours, and he's going to rub it. He's going to butter injection it. And he's going to smoke it on that Traeger for
Sounds
quattro
yummy.
hours.
That sounds
Put another turkey on the
Cook it.
bobby.
Yeah.
Nice
Veronica
job,
Gaston, another person making homemade bread. Veronica Gaston. So several people are making their own bread. I'm reading.
Noah has this
Did
whole
it?
thing
All right.
dialed in, not just cooking, but he said the majority of us have had our booster shots, and just for safety, we all took one of those at-home COVID tests last night.
Oh, nice.
So everybody's getting
Where do
together,
they
no
sell
worries.
those? I've never seen those.
I don't know. Do they sell them at drugstore? I have no idea.
At-home COVID
No, I
tests?
think they do, but like back in the day, I haven't looked lately. They were all out. They were really hard to find, but you can get them at drugstores.
I would want to buy a couple of those just
Yeah.
for
to have.
I got this
just in case.
4-year-old that every
Stocking
other day
stuffers.
she comes home with a snotty nose from school.
Poor baby girl.
Have you been tested for COVID at any point here, Ron?
Tested?
You never had to have
I don't take tests unless I have to because I have a bad track record, you know.
I haven't either.
But no, I have
No.
not.
But you two have at different times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not. I mean, not.
You've never had to have a test? Ugh, it sucks.
No. I'm hoping, obviously, my goal here now is to get through this pandemic without actually getting it. I'm knocking on wood. That
Well, I've
works.
had one of the PCR tests, which is the one that goes way up there, and the doctor does it, and it's 5 long Mississippis in each nostril.
Yeah.
And oh, my eyes are watering, and I was just like pressed into the back. And then I had one at like Zoom Care, where she handed me the Q-tip, and she was like, you don't need to go all the way up there, but you do need to do it for 15 seconds each side. And so I just kind of stuck it up. I was like, do you think that's far enough? She's like, it's fine. And so I was just like standing there staring into her eyes.
I
going
wouldn't
like
want to
this.
do it myself. I had a nurse practitioner or a doctor, whoever, I don't know who did it. It was like those drive-through things. And she goes, now, this will make you feel like you're going to sneeze. It wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't painful. And it did make me feel like I was going to sneeze.
Yeah. I
And
just
that was
did
it.
not
Then
like
it was
it.
done.
I don't want to get it.
You poor thing.
I don't want
You
to get the
almost
test
sneezed.
either. I don't want to get the
No,
COVID or the
I mean,
COVID.
it goes way up there. Your eyes water.
I was
your running nose
expecting
afterwards.
catastrophe the way people talk about it.
Yeah,
and
some
it
people
was
really.
It was okay.
wasn't
Not
I mean,
pleasant.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was doable.
What's good to know?
So again, this morning, chime in with your Thanksgiving stories or your COVID testing stories. We will accept either on this
Whatever
day
y'all
before
are doing.
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Susan
no, it says
Decker's
they sell them at
driving
Walgreens.
from
It's
Kelso to
$23.
Portland.
Good to know. Sorry.
Walgreens 20. What did they say?
You can buy those at-home tests at Walgreens. $23 for 2 of them.
I got a booster shot appointment at my Walgreens right by my house.
Nice.
I'm thrilled.
I know. I go on Monday.
Christy Shirk chiming in. She always makes her own rolls, she says. Love to make yeast breads.
All right.
Sarah also going with turkey on the Traeger. I know that's very popular in these parts. Turkey on the Traeger, turkey in the oven, plus a brisket going all out this year.
Whoa.
So 2 turkeys, 1 in the Traeger, 1 in the
It's a
oven,
big gathering.
plus the
It's
brisket.
a lot of food.
You ever prepare a brisket?
I have never. No.
We had one time a viewer for the viewer recipe series back in the summer months. So this was probably 2018 or 19. Prepared us a brisket, and that is an endeavor. I mean, that's another long hours process. And this guy, it was awesome. He was Vancouver. I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head, but he lived in Vancouver, and he prepared a brisket that was ready when we got there. He prepared a second brisket while we were there so he could show us the process.
Oh, wow.
And then 2 days later, he came to the studio and delivered brisket for the morning crew so we could eat it when his segment was playing. I mean,
Amazing.
3 brisket preparations
It's
for the
not
show.
cheap. It's expensive.
No, that's a good viewer.
Cut,
I
too.
remember that
Yeah.
actually, because I remember thinking, "Holy cow, this guy's dropped some money."
I remember thinking, as I'm describing him how we wanted to do this segment, I'm like, this is almost embarrassing for me to ask. First, we want a brisket ready when we get there. You still in? Okay, good. And then we want you to make one for us while we're there. You still in? And then we want a third one delivered to the station. And at any point, you can say no, but he's like, no, that's cool. I'm all in.
See,
Wow.
you're nicer, because I would have said, and then we need some beans on the side.
Kathleen Korn said she's going to be with family and friends here in Albany.
Nice.
Which is fun, yeah. Let's see. Mindy says I'm postponing till Saturday because she has an ear infection. She's not feeling great. No stamina to do the big meal. But yeah, at least you'll have it Saturday. I hope you feel better.
Noah also pointing out, he's been chiming in a bunch today, but
Yeah.
Noah, and I'm glad you mentioned this, Noah.
Yeah.
Did anyone else notice how expensive, he asks, Thanksgiving dinner shopping was this year? With all the drinks, the dinner, and a few cleaning supplies, my total at the grocery store was over $400, and that's with a 10% off coupon.
Now, know how many people are you? I'm curious how many people he's buying for.
Sure. But we ran that Verify story this morning on our TV show where we, flat out asked, have you noticed that your
It
Thanksgiving
is
order was
the
more
most expensive in history, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we run those, I wonder, what is the viewer thinking on the other side? Are they going, mine wasn't too bad? No. Noah's saying absolutely his worse than he's ever seen.
Yeah.
We went to get some things at New Seasons, but I did the bulk of my shopping at Winco. And I think it was like $360, but that was with, I think, alcohol. So I had wine and cider, and that was like $60.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
mine was probably about $300.
So
But not just for the meal. It was
Right.
like
Yeah.
the big grocery
I
shop.
picked up we're having turkey on Thanksgiving, but my parents are in town, and so I picked up a honey baked ham yesterday, more or less just so my dad likes ham, and that'll feed us
Well, you
on
can
and
have it
off
with
throughout their entire
breakfast,
stay, right?
Yeah.
But it was like I think it was 8.5 pound ham, and it was $80 for 8.5 pound ham. And the honey baked ham store, the one over in Beaverton by the Fred Meyer, that big parking lot they have.
Been there forever.
Holy cow, I was in line for over half an hour. They had the Disneyland, line outside
really?
going back and forth, and the place was packed.
Did I tell you how I worked on the honey baked ham hotline
Did you?
in college?
Wow.
Yes.
How did you land that gig?
A friend of somebody I knew, their mother worked for the company, and they were hiring seasonal workers, and like two of me and actually one friend that you met at our Halloween party, we answered another one, Maggie. We answered the phone lines, and we would take orders ahead of Christmas and Easter.
Yeah.
For hams, what size do you want? How many people are you feeding? Do you want the butt? Do you want the shoulder? That kind of thing.
I thought you meant that you were on the turkey disaster.
No, we were taking orders.
Okay.
That's tomorrow's big story, right? Nina and Rod will be here without Brenda and I.
Yes.
Thank you for holding down the fort, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
And I know one of the stories you always do on Thanksgiving morning is
Like
if you
that
need help with your
Butterball
turkey,
line.
Butterball
Yeah.
has a hotline, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever
least
called that hotline? Just to see what you're passing on
I
to
called
the
my
viewers?
mom back in the day.
Yeah, now you just
Help, or my
Google
mother-in-law.
things. Who's calling the Butterball hotline, really? Nobody.
Buddy?
Google.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah, anymore?
Think?
You're
Is
right.
that
No, I
just
think
a
she's probably right.
fantasy?
Internet?
Yeah.
You're probably
Yeah,
going to the,
true.
probably going to the
Could be.
net.
People are too nervous to make
726.
Can't talk
One
on
more
the phone.
comment, and then we go. One
Okay.
more viewer comment to close out the last
Ooh,
show
Dave,
of the
show.
week.
Yeah.
Then we break for the holiday. Dave says, we got prime rib and salmon turkey day dinner at my uncle's in Vancouver. Let me read that again. We've got prime rib and salmon for turkey day dinner
awesome.
at my
Sounds
uncle's
good.
in Vancouver on Thursday. And then they will have the traditional turkey dinner on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
could
a
stop
lot
by.
of food. Yeah, I know.
Well,
I live over by Columbia River High School. Are you close? I mean, it sounds
Get
good.
a slice of prime rib, some horseradish on the side. All right, you guys, travel safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. This will be our last Sunrise Extra until Monday. Then we'll be back. These two are off the rest of the week.
We're here
We will
tomorrow.
join you tomorrow. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
happy holidays.